In this lesson, we'll discuss timing and spacing in regards to blinks. The scene is timing, spacing, blink, start. I'll go ahead and hit play so we can see what's going on. And as we can see, the blinks are definitely off. They look unnatural. So let's go ahead and tweak them and discuss some important things about blinks along the way. I'll go to show and show the NURBS curve so we can see the controls. And the eyelid controls are found on the head control. Alright, so before we get to tweaking the blinks, let's go ahead and talk about them. Now, blinks, though they may seem small or insignificant, they are very important to defining the emotions going through a character. For example, if the character were, let's say, depressed, you'd have slower blinks. If the character were upset, okay, that the blinks would be faster. And then there's certain levels of upset, of course, that would lead to a different speed in the blinks. But either way, they are very important, so we want to make sure that we animate them correctly. So in this case, we just have a casual head turn. All right, but we can see the blinks are being triggered too slow. Instead, what would happen is, as the eyes are about to shift, we'd have our first blink around that time, and it'd be pretty quick. And then the eyes would open up again a few frames after that. So to get started here, I'll go back to the Perspective and Graph Editor workspace, and we could go ahead and select all of our blink attributes and go ahead and frame them in the Graph Editor. Okay, so being that we'd have our blinks happen faster as they should, what we want to go ahead and do is find out the time at which the eyes are about to shift over. And that's after frame 12. So what I'll go ahead and do is take these keys and go ahead and shift them over to speed up the timing. And I'll go ahead and keep the marker on frame 12 so we could see that point as a reference to know where to land that first key. Alright, so I've just held shift and middle mouse button dragged, so that first key now lies on frame 12. Alright, so now the eyes are shifting over, and this is going to be pretty quick, so what we want to do is take the key now on 17, and let's go ahead and bring that to 14. Great. And now we have a few choices here. We could have them open up pretty quick, or the character is just really laid back. They may open up a little bit slower. So rather than having 2 frames, let's go ahead and delay this just 3 frames instead from frame 14. We'll take the latter option. Alright, so we won't have them open up too quickly. So we hit play. And that might seem a little bit too fast. I'll go ahead and delay this to about frame 18. See how that looks. Alright, great. So there we have it. Alright, so what we could do even further is kind of adjust the slope of the F-curve. Alright, so to have the blink close a little bit faster, what we could do is select the keys on frames 12 and head over to Keys, Break Tangents. And then from there we can select the out tangents, okay, the red half. You can go ahead and middle mouse button click and drag upward, so we get more of an arc in this F-curve. And let me go ahead and hold down Shift, Alt, and the right mouse button and drag to our right, and you notice that kind of expands the view of our F-curve so we can see it in more detail. And as we hold down Shift and Alt and drag upward, we can go ahead and increase our visibility of the F-curve vertically. Alright, so now we have the blinks closing faster and naturally. Then we have them opening up naturally as well, kind of slowing into this last key. So from here what we could do is add a delay. Let's say we go ahead and add a delay to the left lids. We'll go ahead and grab those. Take the key on frame 18. Let's go ahead and drag that to 19. So it's just a 1 frame delay. And if you'd like, you can actually experiment with that on the actual closing of the eyelid. So on frame 14, you can go ahead and drag that to frame 15 and see what that would do. So let's go ahead and take a look at the animation now. I'll hide the controls. Wonderful. All right, so there we have it, and we've we've not only fixed this animation, but we've discussed some important things about blinks. So make sure not to treat them as something insignificant, because they are very important to your character's animation. Now, to take this further, what you could always do is go ahead and add some blinks to the brows. So I'll go ahead and grab the main controls for the brows here. Go to about the point where the eyes are closing. So let's say on frame 12, we press Shift W. Go to frame 14. The blink happens, and kind of just bring this down, just a small little shift so things don't seem too rigid. And on frame 19, just one frame after, we could go ahead and just lift them up. And then I'll take the right brow controls, and I'll just go ahead and drag this to the key on 19 to 18 so that we have that offset from the left side. All right, and there we have it. If we were to go ahead and hide our curves, we can see what this gives us. Okay, so that way things aren't as rigid in the brow area. Get a little bit of movement there. And that can be refined some more, but that's just a quick way to get the job done. So again, we've taken a look at how we can tweak the timing and spacing of blinks for something more natural and believable in the end.